What's up, you guys? It's your girl Rajanae. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, my baby. Okay, click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any videos and you can be a part of Rajanaation. You guys, real quick, not that you're gonna be able to notice, but y'all, my thumb is a bit swollen from work. I don't know what is going on, but it's a bit so if you notice me moving in a certain way, just don't pay attention to it. But anyways, welcome back, guys. So I feel like by the title of this video, okay, maybe you know by now because you've already been listening to the last ones that I've done on the channel already, but I'm back with another Boo Tales for you guys. How did y'all like the last one? Okay, now if you haven't been catching up on Boo Tales, I made a playlist, so you can go check out the playlist on my channel. But today's Boo Tales is called I Just Want to Be Perfect. Y'all, I don't know, are y'all feeling these titles so far? Like, how are you guys feeling? I mean, I like it. I feel like the titles might speak for itself. It's giving you a little something to work with, but do y'all feel like it's repetitive, or what do you guys think? I don't know. Like I told you guys, I haven't read none of these stories, okay? As you know, Boo Tales are titles that I created for these mini scary stories, but I did not create them. My AI did, okay? So I don't know if it's gonna be whack or not, but you're gonna be the judge of that, and so will I. So without further ado, let's just get to it. It's called I Just Want to Be Perfect. I'm gonna assume her name is Casey, okay? Casey Anderson scrolled through Instagram, her thumb mindlessly flicking up the screen. Every photo was like a punch to her gut. Girls with flawless skin, perfect bodies, sun-kissed smiles, and lives that seemed straight out of a dream. They were always at glamorous locations, modeling for big brands, or showing off designer clothes, each one more beautiful than the last. Casey couldn't help but compare herself to them. She was 17 and painfully insecure. Not painfully. I'm sorry. Okay. I feel you, Casey. I feel you. Her skin wasn't flawless. She still struggled with acne. Her hair was frizzy no matter how much she straightened it, and no matter how many diets she tried, she just didn't have the figure she wanted. Not many diets. Girl, how many diets is there? No, for real, like how many diets is there? All right, but she wasn't the it girl, and that stung. It seemed like everyone she followed had found the secret to life, how to be beautiful, successful, and loved, and she was stuck being invisible. Sighing, she put her phone down and stared at herself in the mirror across her room. The reflection that stared back at her wasn't what she wanted to see. If she could just be perfect, like the girl she admired on Instagram, everything would be better. She'd be happy, confident, and maybe even popular. She just wanted to be noticed, to be beautiful. That night, as she lay in bed, unable to sleep, she stumbled across an account on Instagram she hadn't seen before. The username was simple, @BePerfect. Intrigued, Casey clicked on the profile. There weren't any photos, just a single post that read, "Want to be perfect? Message me." All right, that's already a red flag. See, I don't know. See, I feel like, that's why I'm saying, is it getting repetitive almost? Because y'all remember the other Boo Tale, what was it? Drop Dead Gorgeous, I think. It's kind of giving similar to this almost, but we'll see. It seems sketchy, but desperation got the better of her. Without thinking twice, Casey sent a message. "I just want to be perfect. Can you help me?" A few minutes later, she received a response. "Are you willing to do whatever it takes?" See, at that point, you just need to say no. No, you're not, because what is the whatever it takes? Please help me. Like, elaborate, please. Casey hesitated, her fingers hovering over the screen. Her heart pounded in her chest. What could it hurt? It wasn't like she hadn't already tried everything else. Yes, whatever it takes. Almost immediately, the account responded with an address and instructions to come along the following evening. There was no explanation, no details, just the address. Casey felt a shiver run down her spine, but something about the idea of finally getting what she wanted was too tempting to resist. The next day, Casey couldn't stop thinking about the message. It looped in her mind like a broken record. After school, she didn't tell anyone where she was going. She didn't really have friends to tell, and headed toward the address. It was an unfamiliar part of town, a little ways outside of the city limits. When she arrived, she found herself standing in front of an old, how do you say this? I myself. Is this decrepit girl? Okay. Building that looked abandoned. Vines had grown over the broken windows and the paint was peeling off the walls. Everything about the place screamed danger, but Casey's insecurities pushed her forward. She had come this far, and turning back now felt like admitting she'd never be enough. She stepped inside and the door creaked ominously behind her as it closed. The air was heavy, damp, and smelled of decay. At the end of the narrow, dimly lit hallway, she saw a single flickering light from behind a door. With trembling hands, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was small and cold, lit by a single hanging bulb. There was no furniture, no decorations, just a full-length mirror standing in the center. In the reflection, Casey saw herself, but she looked different. Her hair was smooth and sleek, her skin was flawless, and her body was the ideal shape she had always dreamed of. She was perfect. A voice came from behind her, soft and chilling. You can have this, you know. Casey spun around, but no one was there. The room was empty. Okay, so who the hell said that? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, how she turned around and nobody there? She hearing stuff. It's right here. It's giving it was right here, but it's not there. Whoever it was, or, you know what, never mind. Who's there? She called out, her voice shaking. The voice responded, you can be just like the girl you admire. Beautiful, desired, perfect. Casey's breath caught in her throat. How? All you have to do is give up the parts of yourself that you don't like. What? Your imperfections hold you back. Let them go and you will be free to become what you desire. Casey turned back to the mirror, staring at the reflection of the perfect version of herself. Could it really be that easy? Could she finally escape the prison of her own insecurities? Tell me what you want to change, the voice whispered. Without thinking, Casey began listing everything she hated about herself. My skin, my hair, my body. I want it all to be different. The mirror shimmered for a moment, and as she watched, her reflection began to morph. Her skin cleared, her hair smoothed out, and her figure became everything she had dreamed of. She reached out to touch her face, feeling the smoothness of her new skin. It felt unreal. This is it, she whispered to herself. I'm perfect. But as she stood there, admiring her reflection, a sharp pain shot through her chest. What? Already? A sharp pain? What is that? Casey gasped, clutching her heart as her breath quickened. Something was wrong. I know. Yeah. The room began to spin and the mirror warped, the reflection growing dark and twisted. The perfect version of herself in the mirror started to grin, but it wasn't a kind or happy grin. It was a malicious, grotesque smile that stretched too wide. I'm tired of these smiles, y'all. Like, I'm too tired of it. Like, y'all are sick. Okay. Perfection comes at a price, the voice hissed, now cold and sinister. Casey's perfect reflection began to step out of the mirror. Paralyzed with fear, Casey tried to back away, but her feet wouldn't move. The reflection reached out, placing its hand on hers, and in that moment, Casey felt herself being pulled, dragged into the mirror. She screamed, but it was too late. Her real self was sucked into the cold, empty void of the mirror, and her perfect reflection stepped out into the real world. For a moment, Casey was gone. Inside the mirror, she looked out helplessly as her reflection, now free, turned and walked out of the room, leaving her trapped. She pounded against the glass, but no one could hear her. She was stuck, a prisoner in the reflection, while her perfect double took over her life. Days passed. Casey's perfect double lived her life as if nothing had changed, but inside Casey felt the growing terror of her decision. The perfect life she had craved was nothing more than an illusion. Her reflection now had control, but it wasn't her anymore. It was a monster, a hollow shell that fed on her insecurities. The longer Casey stayed trapped in the mirror, the more she realized what she had given up. She had sacrificed her true self for an ideal that didn't even exist. Perfection wasn't real, it was a trap, a lie that she had fallen for, and now she was paying the price. Okay, so that was slightly different, I guess you could say, from Drop Dead Gorgeous, but the lesson here is that the story of Casey teaches us that the pursuit of perfection, especially when driven by insecurities, can lead to a loss of self. The obsession with comparing ourselves to others and chasing unattainable ideals often blinds us to our own worth. True beauty comes from embracing who we are, flaws and all. Perfection is an illusion, and those who sacrifice their identity to achieve it may find themselves losing far more than they ever imagined. Be careful what you wish for, it just might cost you everything. Okay, do y'all feel like this is similar to Drop Dead Gorgeous, and what was the other one? Picture Perfect, in a sense. I mean, I feel like and not just that one. What else did I have? Spoiled Rotten. I'm not going to talk about any of those stories. Y'all need to go listen to them. But I kind of feel like they almost have a similarity. And maybe that's why I created all these titles, because I just want it to be prominent, okay? Perfection is just not attainable. It's not. And I'm even saying this to myself, because I've had thoughts so many times of how I wish I was this and that and this and that, and I didn't make mistakes other than looks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to make mistakes, you just want to be perfect. You want to be a perfect person, a person that doesn't make mistakes. Like, anything you do is flawless. But baby, okay, that couldn't be more than what am I trying to say? Listen, that's not real, okay? You know, everybody makes mistakes in this life. And I feel like in this story, she made the mistake. Okay, these girls are making the mistake of looking at these Instagram ads, looking at whatever type of ads it is, and falling for it because you're trying to attain something that you think is attainable, but it's really not attainable because it's not real. Do you hear me though? Do you hear me? Okay, nothing about what you see on there is attainable, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, it's really not. Like, sometimes, like, there's got to be like something in your mind that just hits you and lets you realize that everybody's like version or like their perception of beauty is just different. It's not all going to be the same, okay? Like, there's beauty within yourself, you know, you just have to find it. And I know nobody wants to truly hear that, because you're like, how am I supposed to find beauty? But why does everything always have to be about looks and everything like that? Like, beauty also comes from being the person that you truly are. And that's your personality. Now, let's be for real, okay? I know the skin. Okay, the girl had acne, her hair was frizzy, and everything else. Baby, let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure whatever she thought she tried, come on, girl. Because we didn't really get into what was she really trying, okay? Because, baby, all these creams and serums and everything like that, and you tried them all? Okay, these hair products, what did you try, baby? Like, there are things that you can really do to really work on yourself and get yourself together, you know what I mean, and really fix those things without having to feel like you have to risk it all and sacrifice yourself in the end. Because I'm telling you, listen to these stories, okay? These girls are really sacrificing all these things and taking risks that they really don't, in the back of their head or in their hearts, they really don't want to take that risk, but they're taking it anyways. You know, and I know sometimes people be like, just take the risk no matter how scared you are. But let me tell you, these are just one of those things where it's like your intuition is telling you it's not right and you shouldn't be doing it, and yet you're doing it. Listen to your intuition more, because I'm telling you, like, it's not lying. Obviously, if something doesn't feel right, you shouldn't be doing it, okay? But you see how these girls are trying to attain something that's just not attainable. I'm telling you, it's not something that you can reach at all. It changes all the time, okay? And how do you know that the girls that you're seeing on these accounts feel that way about themselves? I mean, like, you really don't know these girls' thoughts at the end of the day, nor do you even know what they're dealing with when they're posting these different posts online. And that's all I'm gonna say, okay? Because let's be real, a lot of the times you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And you start to realize once whatever's in the dark comes to light, you start to realize, oh snap, like, I didn't realize this person was going through that. I didn't realize that it was tormenting them. It was getting to them mentally. It was ruining their mental health and their well-being. And you thought that you wanted that? You thought you wanted that. Okay? There are just some things that maybe you're just not meant to experience, okay? It's just not meant for you, okay? God has better plans for you, okay? But that's the end of this story. I don't know, y'all. Like, I feel like her getting trapped in that mirror, so now that beautiful version of her can live her life being beautiful while she still looks the same. Please tell me, see, and the result that you wanted, you didn't even get what you wanted at the end of the day. You really didn't. I don't know if anybody caught that, but she really didn't get what she wanted at the end of the day. She wanted to be perfect. She wanted to be beautiful. She wanted to have this big body. She wanted to have the nice hair, and yet you still don't have that. The evil version of you has that. That reflection of you has that. And that's not even the real you. That's an ugly you. Like, that's the evil you. But it looks perfect. And so now she's portraying to be you, and it's not even you. So you're still not even experiencing being perfect. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, being perfect is just not attained, because at the end of the day, you're still not perfect. You might as well just stop trying to attain something that's not even real, because then you got somebody else that's not even a real you pertaining to be something, or portraying to be something that's not real. And now you're stuck forever. That's not what you want. Okay, like, listen, we all have insecurities, and I do too. I do too. One of my insecurities, now listen, I'm pretty sure I said this in one of my old videos before, but one of my insecurities is my nose. Let's be for real. And I know people are gonna say there's ways that you can go about that and there's things that you can do, but at the same time, I'm not that kind of person that wants to go through that. Let's be for real. That's not for everybody. So we can't be trying to point fingers and tell people what to do and this, that, and the third, and feels, you know, what they think would be good for somebody, and that person may really not want to go through something like that. No matter how deep of an insecurity it is for them, they may not want to experience something like that, and that's okay. It's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, if it's something that you don't like, but at the same time you're not willing to risk it all and go through certain desperate measures just to get it, you might as well start to fall in love with it, baby. Just fall in love with it. Okay, because God made you that way, and that's how God wanted you to look. And I know you're gonna be like, you want me to look like this? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, understand that one day someone's gonna love you for the way that you look, genuinely. And you didn't have to do anything crazy or risk your life or your body to do it, or your soul. But whatever, you know, look, at the end of the day, I hope you guys understood the message, because I'm telling you, this is a message. All these stories, they're really all about the same thing at the end of the day, with slight different twists to them. And I hope either way, you're still receiving the message. 3 times the charm, they say. But that's the end of the story, guys. That's it for today. Let me know if you liked the story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How would you twist it up a little bit to, like, spice it up? Like, how would you do it? Let me know in the comments. Let's see who has the best one, to be honest. Anyways, I might record another Boo Tales after this for you guys. So if I'm still wearing the same outfit, ignore it. All right, bye. Peace out.